Okay. So some people have been requesting this, and I think there's a need for it for sure, to focus on metabolic function. And metabolic function is this: it's how do you break down food or break down energy? How do you break down energy? How do you store energy? And then how do you use energy? And when you're doing this properly, you're going to have great health. You're going to be fit. You're going to be energetic. You're going to be at a healthy weight. Life is good. The worst thing you can do for your metabolic function is overeat. Too many calories your body does not have a good strategy for. And when you overeat consistently, if it's once a week, once in a blue moon, not a big deal. If it's most of your meals, that's a problem. If you eat till you're full or you eat like you feel like you're going to explode, that's the problem. And so, or just getting a lot of calories in a day where you're always eating, you're eating multiple meals, snacking, where there's never a time for fasting, that messes with how you break down energy, store energy, and use energy. So when our metabolic function improves, a person will have a healthier weight. They'll have a more, or they'll have a more fit body is what they're going to experience. But really what is great is you're going to have healthy cell and organ function. So a couple things to focus on. Number one is this: if you want to, here's how you go from I'm not where I want to be, but I want to be in a better place, and I want to start to see this change. Number one, first thing in the morning, get up and move. And what I mean by get up and move is I mean get up and exercise, walk, run, lift weights, move in a way that you're actually breathing a little bit. And it can be a long walk, but it should be enough that you're sweaty. If you don't have to change clothes, you didn't work hard enough. Okay. Even if you went for a long walk, hopefully you're like, it was long enough, but now I'm kind of sweaty. I wouldn't want to wear this same clothes for the rest of the day. Right. So get up and move. That's step one. Step two is this: don't eat. Now you've got your body moving, you're using energy. Don't eat. Wait till at least lunchtime. Okay. Now, some people, if they're pregnant, they might eat, there's reasons for that. Or somebody might have, like, if your metabolism is way off, you might really struggle with this type of fasting, but you should really be able to get to the point where you're not eating for as long as possible. And the goal is don't eat till at least lunchtime, maybe even a little bit later, like noon, 1 o'clock. At noon, now you're eating. And when you're talking about meals, well, how many meals am I having a day? The plan is, when you're looking at your week, 1 to 3 meals a day, most days 2, maybe 1. Okay. 3 meals a day. Ideally, it's like maybe once, twice a week, but ideally you're looking at 1 to 2 meals a day is what you're doing. And you want to track this. So your goal is 1 or 2 meals a day, no snacks, no snacks. I don't even care if they're good for you. No snacks. If you're hungry, drink water. Most of the time you're dehydrated, you just start drinking more water, you will feel better and you won't be as hungry. This might take a little bit to get down. Hang in there. So step one, get up and move. Step two, don't eat till lunch. Step three, drink water when you're hungry. And then when you're hungry, stop thinking about yourself. We are most alive when we think about other people, or when we're thinking about things that are not ourselves. And self-consciousness and misery are identical physiological or psychological mentalities. So the psychology of thinking about yourself and being in misery are the same. So stop thinking about yourself. So as soon as you start feeling hungry, oh, poor me, that's a miserable place to be. Don't do that. As soon as you start feeling hungry, who can I pray for? Oh, I'm going to pray for this person. I know that they're having a rough week. I want to pray for this person. I think their marriage is struggling. I want to pray for this person. I know that they have a big test. I want to pray for this person. They're starting a major life change. Pray for people in your life, and that hunger is not as strong. And guess what? Here's the other thing. You're not missing out. You will be hungry again. You will want another meal. Even if you fed the hunger, you will be hungry again. So don't think that you're missing out. That's not that. But stop thinking about yourself, or you are living in misery. So get up and move. Don't eat till lunch. No snacks. Drink lots of water. Here's the other thing. Your second meal, let's say your first meal is noon or 1 o'clock. Your second meal must be before 7 p.m. Okay. Eat before 7 p.m. Okay. After that, no more food. You can have water, no more food. And don't be drinking stuff that has calories in it. So like, oh, I didn't have food, but now I'm drinking something else. You're breaking the fast. You're messing up the healing that can happen for your metabolism. Okay. So that's a huge thing. Don't eat after 7 p.m. And then make sure you're tracking it. Because the goal isn't that you're perfect every day, is that you're consistently getting better. And if you're hitting 4 or 5 days out of the week where you're only having 2 meals, you're not eating late, you're getting up and moving, you will start healing your metabolism. You will start seeing the weight come off. You will start seeing the energy come back, and it gets easier. It definitely gets easier. Here's another thing. Stop the coffee. Or be intentional with the coffee. If someone, oh, I got up and exercised, I didn't eat till lunch. Oh, but I did have my coffee. You're breaking the fast. And the other thing is this, is a lot of times you're having coffee with all the crap in it. So if you have coffee, 1 cup a day, must be organic. Otherwise it's just toxic and you're just going to store fat. So don't do that. And don't add all the crap to it, because half the time it's half coffee, half a million other things. That's the only type of coffee I like. But I know a lot of people do that too. So you're doing all the hard stuff and then you're doing that thing and it's ruining it. And then here's the other thing. If your mentality is I can't do that, that is an addiction. It has a hold on you. Like no food should have a hold on you. If it does, if like you have this cringe feeling or this uncomfortable, or now you're mad at me, that's a sign that there's an addiction. And I just think it'd be wise to not be addicted to anything that is flesh. Okay. Be careful with that. So you can stop the coffee or you can shift it. So what you might do, what a person might do is I get up, I exercise, I drink water all morning long. And then with my first meal, I have 1 cup of coffee. That's it. 8 ounces. That's it. Okay. With my first meal. So you could do that and you'd be fine. So you didn't lose it all, but I promise you have less of an addiction when you do it that way. So a personal story for me. So I was just saying, okay, I'm normally around the 200 to 205 range. And I said, I want to get back down into the 190. It used to be more normal to be in the 190. And so I was like, okay, what are the healthiest ways to do this so that it's sustainable? Because I don't want to just drop and then come back. And I was just wanted to learn more than anything, because that's still like a normal BMI for me, but it's like the high range of normal and healthy. I wanted to get on the lower range of that. And so essentially like 4 months of just eating 2 meals a day, not eating late, and I went down and I got down to 190 pretty quick, actually down to 188 if I'm running a lot, because I was training for different things. But before that 4 months, it was 16 months of me just testing and seeing what works, what helps, what works, what does that look like. And I was exercising pretty much every day and sometimes twice a day doing things for exercise. But if I was eating good food, quality food, and still getting 3 meals a day, still snacks, still allowing myself to eat later, even if it's healthy food, I was not going to get below the 200 mark at all. It just wasn't going to happen unless I was dehydrated. So that wasn't going to take place. So I could see that for a year, I could stabilize at that number. And it's like I had to not just move and exercise, but be intentional about when I ate and how much I ate. And it was amazing to see just even a subtle change for me personally, to see how exciting and how energetic how much energy I felt through that too. So just really, really helpful as far as that goes. For somebody like my wife, when she was coming off of having 4 kids and then wanting to get back to more of a fit weight for herself, it took her 3 months, maybe more, of being really intentional with her food, no snacking, her meals, really intentional with her exercise before things really started to change. Because she had 4 kids and basically 10 years of being a mom, and in a state that's, you're not always getting good sleep. It's a little bit more stressful. And she was never unhealthy or unfit, but she wanted to get down closer to like her high school weight. And she was saying, okay, what is it going to take to do this? And so I could tell, like after that first month, she's like, I'm really doing awesome, but she was discouraged. But she kept at it. Thank God she did. And she's done great with it. But that's the thing with metabolic function. Depending on how beat up your metabolism is, it might take a while. One person within 2 weeks, they're noticing some really good changes. Another person, it might be 2, 3, 4 months before they start seeing changes. And then, so just be patient with yourself. It just tells you where you're at. And if it's taking longer, it tells you need this more. And then the other thing is this is make sure you're tracking it and you're just trying to focus on the habit. So for me personally, what I would do is I would print off a habit tracker. And so what that looks like is something like this. I would just print off a habit tracker and I would write down what I'm doing. And I would just put meals 1 to 3. And then throughout the day, I would just write in, how many meals did I have? I would write in the exercise. What did I do? I would write in no snacks. Did I make sure that I had no snacks? I would write those types of things in. And then I would write in prayer to make sure that I'm praying consistently and praying for people. Because that was, you talk about like, oh, I need the motivation. Start praying for others, and that helps with motivation big time. And then one thing that I found was really, really helpful is I would actually write down how many meals I had, but then I would also take a moment, and at the end of the day, I would write an arrow up or down. And if I didn't eat after supper, I got an up arrow, meaning I'm moving in the right direction. If I ate after supper, I'd write a down arrow, meaning I'm doing it like like I can fudge the rules a little bit, but I'm not actually getting away with it. So it was a good sign to me. How am I doing? And I could learn from that. Oh, I'm eating late. Here's why. I'm not eating late. Here's why. And I could learn from that and strategize better. But it gave me a really clear indication. Am I hitting 4, 5, 6 days a week of doing this, or am I actually 1 or 2? Because if I'm at 1 or 2, not a lot's changing. If I'm at 4 or 5, a lot of stuff starts changing when I keep that going. So hopefully you can use this video to reach your goals, but mainly be healthy. The reason I'm doing this for you is I want you to be as healthy as you can. And then if the goal is to lose weight, to be more fit, to be more satisfied with how you're doing, to have more energy, if the goal is that, awesome. I hope you reach that too, but do it in a healthy way with a healthier metabolism. If you have more questions or more specific questions, talk to me. Let me know. Okay, good luck. You can do it.